Hello, welcome to the Steam Release Podcast. I'm your host, Dewey Bear, and today I'm joined by the delightful, the mysterious Rody Pie.
Hey, thanks for having me.
You look ready to cause havoc. Welcome.
Always ready to cause havoc.
And of course, you know him, but maybe by a different name, but we have TommyByrd here.
Hi, everybody. Formerly known as the Radio Tom, I took a little bit of a name change and now rocking the TommyByrd. Hello, everybody.
TommyByrd. So you're gonna get like a bird with a Tommy gun or something?
Ooh,
As like a
I kind
logo?
of like that one. Right now, theming is still very much in the air. I have swapped all my alerts to more Tommy Boy because TommyByrd kind of thinks Tommy Boy a little bit. But yeah, I should do like a bird with a gun or something like that.
Yeah, it's just the first thing I thought of. And of course, hello chat, welcome, Sincerely Day, and of course all the lurkers, we love you too. But yeah, welcome. And yeah, we got a lot of games to talk about, but first, we dug through the release list, so you don't have to. And before we get to the official list, and before we get to the honorable mentions, we do play games sometimes. So all of us have stuff to talk about this week. So Tommy, what have you been up to?
I played the day. I finally got around to playing Bloodstained the other day. Oh my goodness, it is such a good game. It was hugely popular, like probably 6 months ago when it came out. Finally got around to it on my list. 100% of that game. It is so good. And that's the Bloodstain Curse, Ritual of the Night. Because the other one's Curse of something. But yeah, Ritual of the Night. Absolutely fun Metroidvania style game. I couldn't tell you anything about the story because I skipped through everything because I'm a monster like that. I just wanted to beat stuff up and explore. But that's mostly what my Mondays have been spent playing.
It's kind of a neat redemption arc, this game as well, the development of this game, because it first came out in not the best of states. And then after many years of hard work, and difficulty, the dev remade it.
Yeah, it is so well done. Like it's probably one of my favorite games of the year I've played.
Well, that is awesome to hear. I've heard very good things about it. I do need to check it out eventually. I'm not super into Metroidvanias though. That's not really a genre I've gotten in a lot.
So, which I mean, and this is very much that style, like 100% Metroidvania. So, if you're not big into it, I don't know if you're going to be a big fan of it.
Still have to give Shantae another go, so I got stuck in Shantae. So I got to replay the start of that game, but that game was really charming, so maybe it'll get me in. I usually need an entry drug into a new style of gameplay. Yeah. And Rody, what have you been up to?
I mean, unless you got anything to add, Tommy, any more games?
No. Yes. Like I mean, earlier today I was playing Crash Bandicoot, but
oh, good memories.
I never had PlayStation growing up, so this is like me playing it for the first time.
Oh, nice.
I had the neighbor kid's PlayStation. That's what I had.
Oh, nice. Well, what about you, Miss Rody? What you been doing?
So, I played quite a lot of games this past couple of weeks.
Getting through that list.
Ooh, yeah, I am. So, the main one that I did actually finish was Morph Girl. I played it for Halloween, and it was just lovely FMV game. Although it made itself sound like it was going to be scary, but it really wasn't. It really focused on like things like loss and guilt. So Morph Girl, MORPH.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So yeah, it was like a bit of a take on the like those Japanese horror movies sort of thing. And yeah, it was like all choices matter and everything. So you'd have a choice between one or two things, one of them being the bad choice, one of them being the good choice. So yeah, it was and there are two whole films that you can watch in the game, within the game.
Really?
Oh my word.
Yeah.
Like so how long were the films?
Like they're about 90 minutes or something like that.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. You don't have to. They're optional for you to watch, but
Yeah.
I was like intrigued. I was like, what? Really? Is this really happening? A whole movies are in this? Oh, okay. But yeah, it's not. It's more of when you turn the game off and you go about, and it's night and you're about to go to bed, and then maybe your mind will start like working overtime, and maybe you scare yourself. So maybe it's more that sort of a game. It gets to you after you turn it off, rather than you actually have any sort of jump scares or anything about it, because it's more like a creepy kind of game. There's this sort of entity that is in your home, and you kind of you have to confront it, and depending on how you confront it is different outcomes. So I finished that, and yeah, it was all right. The next one, which we have talked about before on the podcast, but I actually bought it and gave it a go when the sale was on, was Vignettes.
Ooh, how was it?
It was pretty good. So VIGNETTES. It was pretty good. There are some parts of it that are quite challenging. And also it definitely doesn't move as well on Steam, because you have to, with your mouse you like move it. Whereas if you had this on your phone or on a gamepad, it's like, would flow a lot more smoothly. But yeah, it's sometimes like objects have like 4 different ways it could look, and you're just like, yeah, okay, I'm trying to get this fourth way, and sometimes you just can't get it, or something. So it's some conundrums. It's still quite challenging, even though it looks like very simplistic sort of game. It's pretty good. It's pretty entertaining to pick up for about 10 20 minutes at a time, rather than just sort of playing it all the way through. So yeah, I think I'm about a quarter of the way through that game. So yeah, I've got quite a fair bit to go. And the next one is another puzzle game. I played Cubicity. So that's CUBICITY. And that's another one we spoke about in on the podcast. So Cubicity slide puzzle.
Is this it?
No, I think
no, there's multiple ones.
Oh dear. Let me.
Oh, there we go. I found it. Okay.
Yeah.
Spelled exactly the same way, but okay. There we go. Slide puzzle. All right. So here's the right one. Oh yeah, this one's so cute.
Yeah. And it's quite good because you can use like these ice cubes that you can like block the path, so it gets to exactly where you want it to land to. Or you can use bombs where you can plant next to them, so they move just like one space. So yeah, it's there are 95 levels, and I've gotten to level 40. When you reach level 40, it's kind of like they remove so many of the sort of mechanics that you were sort of getting used to.
Oh, yeah,
and
puzzle games are good at that.
Yeah, and it's just quite punishing after that. But yeah, it's lots of fun.
Super adorable.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love the aesthetic of this game.
Mhm.
It's oh my word, and it just seems like one that you could just kind of chill, like figure out a puzzle, and like just an easy Saturday afternoon. Yeah, even though
Yeah.
some of them are really challenging.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. I played up to level 40. Well, I was playing 10 levels at a time, and then when I was thinking, oh yeah, no, I'm pretty good at this. Yeah, no. And then I got to level 40, and I was just like, now I feel stupid. But yeah, lots fun. If you like puzzle games, definitely recommend this one. And I keep also the final game that I did play this week. I do keep dipping into Kind Words. I got that
Kind
when.
Words, yeah.
Oh, good. Yeah, I remember talking about that one.
Yeah.
Hopefully you haven't ran into like any, because I remember we were talking about worrying about like trolling or issues on that. Has everything kind of been still, lack of better terms, everyone's still kind of good on the up and up?
Yeah, everyone is like I haven't found it. I haven't found any messages that were terrible. In fact, I'm not sure how many people are playing at the moment. It's still, it still seems like quite a big community. But my own message did come back on itself, sort of thing. So it went out there in the ether, and then came back to myself.
Gotcha. Okay.
But yeah, it's so interesting just to read what people are putting out there, or people can request sort of like help with an issue they've got, and you can I don't know, be agony aunt or whatever, or you can just put like just nice messages out there, and there is incentives to sort of like stick around and write. You get like these little stickers that they don't really do anything, but you can like put them around your room and they're sort of like 3D objects and stuff. So yeah, that's a nice little incentive, although it's not too much of an incentive, if you get me, because like some people say, well, I'm just doing it for the achievements. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, anyone out there, if you're having like a bad time at the moment and you just need some encouraging words, or you just need to be in a happy space, I really, really recommend it, because there's so many nice messages out there.
Oh, that's cool. I'm glad that it's still getting that's still happening. And hey, with that, like, we have what Cubicity we can. So for those of you who don't know, we have a curated page on Steam, SRP Podcast. And so as we get to experience the games we talk about, most of them we write up as neutral reviews, just like giving a summary of what it is, just a sentence. But when we do actually get to play them, we update it with either recommended or not recommended. And yes, so we're gradually adding more and more things to that list. And it's cool to see that a few games definitely get the thumbs up. So
can I just ask one more question, because I know Tom says he hasn't played any more games, but I did maybe see you play Cosmic Express as well.
Oh yeah, that sorry, my memory has been absolutely terrible. Thank you, thyroid problems. So because there's been that, and then I played Catherine too. But yeah, Cosmic Express, I have played the daylights out of off and on. It is it starts out as a very nice, simple puzzle game where you're trying to draw one straight line from the beginning to the end while grabbing passengers along the way, and then the game gets mean real quick. But it's a puzzle game. The further you go, the worse it gets. You have different constellations, which are kind of like the different level sets, which all are based around a different theme. Like there's one where you have like a little warp hole that you can go through. There's ones where you have to get some purple passengers, some orange passengers to their specific homes. So each area works a little bit differently. And then as you keep going on, the difficulty ramps up. It's kind of nice too, because the one thing I've seen in this that I haven't seen to a lot of other puzzle games previous was there are certain levels that have multiple exits out. So now there's multiple ways of solving one level, and if you beat it one way, you unlock these levels over here. When you beat it the other way, you unlock these levels over here. So I was a big fan of that one. Thank you for prodding me on that one, Miss Rhodey.
Yep.
That's okay. Did you get to the stinky slime one yet?
Yeah,
Yes.
I've been to the stinky slime, and now I'm on like the second version of the stinky slime, and it is
So basically, you have to pick up. You get the different passengers, the yellow and the purple passengers, but they're orange and purple passengers. But then you get these green, slimy, stinky passengers, and if they jump into the passenger cart, that means the other passengers can't jump into that cart. So you have to be very careful if you have like two carts or if it's one cart that green passenger sort of goes in at the end, or it's not obstructing. It's not going to obstruct the other passengers, basically. So yeah, it's really interesting the way they do it.
yeah. I've got about 60 levels done so far, and I have no idea how many I have left.
Wow. It's a great game. It's a great game.
Yeah.
And as for me, I've been playing really so this is the thing. The type of games I get into have a lot of time dedication that goes into them. And I don't know why our faces are blinking. I really don't. I'm sorry about that, folks, but it'll just blink. It'll just blink for a while. Sorry about that. But anyhow.
Okay.
But yeah, so I've been playing Kingdom Rush, which, if you may know, it is a tower defense game, a very good tower defense game with sort of, if you're familiar with the studio Behemoth, Ironhide seems to be like fans of that. Like they really take a lot of the Behemoth aesthetic and sort of apply it on liberally. So that's kind of cool to see. There's a lot of these little Easter eggs and such. So I've been playing this. And I have also been playing the lovely Heroes of Hammerwatch. So, yep. I'm gonna get 100% completion. I will.
I'm pretty sure I remember you saying that. Oh no, I'm done. I'm done with the Heroes of Hammerwatch. But no, no.
It just drags me back.
Just when he thought it was out, it pulls him back in.
Yeah, and the thing is, I finished the town, so I finished upgrade the town. I'm like, okay, now I'm done. Oh, but I could get all the statues. Okay, I'll do that. It's like, oh, but I could do that. Oh no, now I have to finish the arena. Yeah, it's never gonna end. I'm stuck on this game. I'm stuck on this game forever. That's just how it's gonna be. Yep. So yeah, good old Heroes of Hammerwatch. And that's me. So it's nothing new. These are all games I've talked about in the past, but yeah, I'm still playing them. Still playing them. And of course, writing up more reviews for our curators page, which I already talked about. Anyhow, now that we've talked about what we played this week, now we get to the honorable mentions, which we've got some fun ones. So, firstly, our first honorable mention is Xenocrisis.
A port of the successfully crowd-funded Sega Mega Drive Genesis title, Xenocrisis is an arena shooter in which up to 2 players take control, battle-hardened Marines embarking on a deadly mission to confront an alien menace. Run and gun your way through thousands of adversaries, searching for survivors, and ultimately facing the origin of the Outpost's demise.
Yep, and because it is a port, that is one of the reasons why we didn't put it on the main list, but it's so impressive what they've done with this and added all the new features and some additional gameplay. It's really cool. This is how you do a port. So, bringing
Yeah,
old games back to life.
Yeah, I love that. I love the like old school. It reminds me when I was a kid and they had these kind of games. I really like that style.
Yeah, you seem so have you been looking up this game, Tom?
No, I'm sorry. I'm just kind of just kind of watching the trailer right now, and it's reminding me very heavily of Smash TV. I do remember it from the Sega, kind of the Sega Mega Drive Genesis way back when, and just looking at they definitely polished this up a little bit. So it's a really nice port over right now, but yeah, has that very much Contra meets Legend of Zelda vibe, where yeah, you kind of go room to room, but you're of course fighting kind of your twin stick shooter in the same aspect. It's one of those, I don't remember it as well, but I'm like, all right, I remember I played this at some point, way back when, but it looks like a really good port over.
That's cool. Xenocrisis. And yeah, it's and it was ported by Bitmap Bureau over in Southampton, England. So, all right.
So for all you retro lovers out there, this is for you, and this is $15.99. Not sure how long it is. It doesn't say, but we're the people that have put it as a recommendation and put like maybe 3 to 5 hours, maybe longer though, because it depending on what mode I think you're playing in.
Yeah,
but yeah.
Yeah, it's $20 US. So, yep, 19.99. All right. Our next title is actually just a demo, because the full game's not out yet. But Steam Dolls Order of Chaos demo.
Yeah, steampunk-inspired Metroidvania game with a grimy touch of stealth and brutality.
I'm pretty sure they're supposed to say grimy, but yeah, it does say grimy. Grimy!
Grimy! By the Shady Gentleman, so it's a grimy touch from the Shady Gentleman.
I do like that studio name, Shady Gentleman. That's nice.
Right?
So yeah, essentially you're I think you're a droid that's just going off and like killing humans. And there's some sort of backstory to it. But it looks beautiful, very neat. I like the theme. I'm excited. Skynet,
You assume the role of a cunning thief and anarchist known as the Whisper and make your way through heavily secured environments. Blast your way to achieve or stick to the shadows, perform violent stealth kills, struggle the haunting apparitions of a mesmerizing witch, trying to reveal the truth about a conspiracy that could shake the very foundation of the world. A little bit more of the elevator pitch.
All right. Yeah, maybe not a robot then. Okay. Interesting.
Yeah, it's I mean, this is still an early access, so we don't know what the game to change up, or I can't see a roadmap on here or anything, but so yeah, it's definitely give the demo a go, and maybe keep an eye on it, but we always warn people against maybe not jumping into early access just yet.
Getting the demo out now is a smart thing to do, though. I'm really glad they did that, because it's fine to release a demo when the game like initially comes out as well, but when you release a demo ahead of time, it's almost like, oh hey, it's a really good way to pitch like, hey, you wanna get this game when it comes out. So hopefully. Really cool. All right. And we have another sorry.
Yeah, and the demo's free and everything. So
100% free.
No excuse not to give it a go.
No, exactly.
Our next title is Fly Eeks. That's 3 E's.
Flyeks, the main character, Flyeks is able to jump, run, and rotate the level. kind of that the VVVVV sort of feels. Your good old platformer with environmental control. Ooh.
I'd get dizzy.
That's kind of what I'm getting while just kind of watching the trailer a little bit. Like, luckily, it's not as motion heavy as the game Fez is, because I was playing through that a while back because I was watching We Have Za play, and I was like, oh, I wonder if I control it, because watching him play, I was getting sick watching. So I'm like, all right, maybe if I control it myself, it'll be a little bit better. And so far, watching the trailer on this, it doesn't look too bad on the motion sick level. But I could see maybe a little bit of trouble, but it doesn't have like that heavy motion blur to it, so I don't know.
Yeah, this is there are 10 levels currently.
Oh,
so it
only
sounds
10.
like they're
They're
going
pretty
to
short.
Yeah, so they said they are going to add more. So I suppose depending on how big a level is, you know, it's that's why I put it on the honorable mention, because it seems like more of a shorter experience. But it's still like 11.39, which is for a short experience, or you know, we are.
Yeah,
I'm seeing
$14.99 US.
Yeah, I'm seeing anything from like 2 hours to like 7 hours. So, but yeah, so someone's got nearly like 300 hours into it.
Oh my word.
They have an insane robust like backstory to this for a game that has only 10 levels. That kind of surprises me a little bit for what a simple platformer mechanic, or like with a unique mechanic, would have all of this sudden typed out story to it.
Yeah.
They have a passionate writer on the team.
No, they really do.
It's gonna be like an existential, like an existential experience of like, what does it mean to be able to control gravity? What are the moral implications?
At last, one of them said, "Look what a vile people they are, all smiling like lunatics." To which the other replied, "What a disgusting world they have." In a matter of minutes, the fate of the planet was decided. Through the portal to the main hall of the scout ship, troops of equipment and columns of troops were drawn. I just grabbed a random passage from the middle of this, and yeah.
Oh my word!
Wow.
Oh my word! You got. Ooh.
It's all tell no show, really, isn't it? Because this is just hey, little dude flips a switch kind of thing.
I want to see them write like a full-fledged RPG for that, but that seems to have
a text
nothing
adventure
to do with this
even.
game. Oh goodness, yeah.
Yes.
But that has I'm gonna sound mean for 2 seconds, but that it has no place on this game from what I'm seeing. God knows.
No.
So it's grand epic. I mean, maybe like you'll experience it, and you know, a tear will roll down your cheek when you do that final turn. It's like, oh my.
I understand it all.
I understand. Big expanding brain.
Maybe it's a hidden level.
Yes, maybe. All right. Okay, so our next title is the so this is an update. Actually, it's a DLC, so somewhat unusual for us to talk about, but there is a new DLC for the game I Am Not a Monster, which I think has a demo out or is still in early access or something like that. But it finally has online.
I think it's a full game. No, it's a full game. When I'm sure when we reviewed it, it was the full game. There is also a demo for it if you did want to play it. And now this is the DLC. They rebrought multiplayer version out.
Right. The search process turns up some weird returns, and it's like, why can I only find the demo? But anyhow, but yeah, so yeah, I'm Not a Monster. It's we were talking about how this needs online co-op, and lo and behold, they've done it.
Yeah. good old that's normally one of the biggest things we always talk about is especially with how many games have like at least couch co-op but no online mode.
Yeah.
This game looked perfect for an online mode.
And it's so pretty as well. I really love the style of this game, and I'm surprised it didn't get more like traction when it came out. But maybe that's because of the, the lack of multiplayer and online co-op as well. So, and you got online PvP as well, which is great.
And currently the main game's on sale for $4.94 right now too, so that's a bit of a steal. The downside is the multiplayer is an additional cost of $2.
Yeah, it's £1.69 here. So yeah, it's not too much for a DLC, but still, it's like something that should be
a main feature.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But yeah, cool.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not too keen making it as a separate DLC was the smartest move. But they should have probably just updated the core game and maybe done like a big promo for it. But anyhow, whatever. Nitpick. Oh, right. Our next title is another demo, another free demo for Inspector Waffles.
I'm in love with this already. Inspector Waffles, a witty detective cat, has been called to investigate Fluffy's murder, the beloved CEO of Box Furnitures. In this point-and-click adventure game, interrogate, gather clues, and solve the biggest case in town, but the first hints are leading to something bigger than expected. I can read.
So this game was at Adventure X, which is the convention I was at last week, and it was great. It was great. You know, the cutscene, you start off. Inspector Waffles is in a bar. He's got a glass of milk, and he's and he's just like, they called me back for the case, sort of thing. So many jokes.
Has an officer dog Spotty hanging out the car. So the dog hanging out the car window to try to track someone down.
Yeah, it's so good, and the puzzles are quite nice. Not too. I wouldn't say too taxing, and it wasn't. I think it's a bit in the style of Darkside Detective, which which was nice, easy paced, and there might be like several cases on this. So yeah, I really enjoyed playing this at the convention. It was definitely one of my top picks.
This reminds me of Backbone.
Ooh, yeah.
The pixel art raccoon detective game that also has a free demo out, by the way, because it's being released in 2020. Same year that Inspector Waffles is getting released, so you're gonna have two.
Conspiracy.
You're gonna have two pixel art animal protagonist games. So they both look really neat.
So the difference is that this is definitely like traditional point and click game, whereas Backbone really isn't. There's more. It's more like it's more side scrolling. There's side scrolling. There is a bit of point and click in there, but there's stealth elements in there.
Yeah, stealth and combat.
Stealth and combat, which is not typically. It just doesn't have the same feel as a point and click game at all. Yep. But I still had fun with it.
Yeah, and also I think Backbone probably has more of a serious tone than this one.
Yeah, this is definitely pure comedy, and it's just so much fun. Whereas Backbone is just gritty horror, horror elements in it.
Yeah, and it's just like, they're murdered. It's gruesome. It's just so horrible. Well, this one's a bit more comical.
Yeah.
Right. So that's Inspector Waffles. Really quick mention is Planet Zoo. The same folks that brought Planet Coaster to us created Planet Zoo.
Build a world full of wildlife in Planet Zoo. The developers of Planet Coaster and Zoo Tycoon come the ultimate zoo sim. Construct detailed habitats, manage your zoo, and meet authentic living animals who think, feel, and explore the world you create around them.
Yeah, it's neat that this studio has sort of blossomed out of Planet Coaster with former devs of Roller Coaster Tycoon, and just kind of like, hey, let's take it to a new level, and they're doing it again with Planet Zoo. I've seen people play this, and in general, it seems a lot of people like it. So
yeah,
I hope there's a better tutorial system in this, because Planet Coaster didn't really have that. So yeah, that's the only thing I was hoping for with this. It is $34.99.
$44.99 US, with the deluxe version available for $54.99.
Yeah, deluxe is $42.99.
To be fair with Planet Zoo, though, in this studio Frontier, is they've definitely done the thing where they've proved themselves to be a AAA indie studio. So it's there's not many out there, but there are some indie studios just like, well, yeah, they're on par with the AAA studios. So, and Frontier Developments is definitely one of them. So it's a high cost, but you're probably going to get 100 hours of gameplay out of this. Alrighty. That's Planet Zoo. And our final honorable mention is okay, The 13th Doll, a fan game of the 7th Guest. Yes.
Yep, return to the 7th Guest Stealth Mansion in this mind-bending FMV puzzle game made by the fans of the original series.
Yeah, the awesome FMV goodness in a point-and-click game. So yeah, this is harks back to the time when point-and-click games met FMV games, and something magical happened. But yeah, it's I think I'm gonna add this to my wish list, because it's so reminiscent of the 7th Guest, and I just love the cheesy acting in FMV games. So yeah, I really want to see how this measures up.
I like the fact that at least reading in the about that it started as a volunteer freeware passion project, but got evolved into a fully licensed game.
Yeah, I love that. It's $23.79. I'm just seeing how long it is.
$29.99 US.
Pretty spicy for price wise, but
yeah, and it's the thing with FMV games, they're not like the cheapest to make, because obviously you paying actors and you got the film equipment and everything like that. So it's I'm not entirely sure how long it is though. I've seen various times.
But a few hours of really hokey acting might just be worth it.
Oh my god! Yeah, yeah. That's it. It looks like it's from the reviews I've seen, about 7 hours, around about that. That's I've seen quite a few people with those times. So yeah, about that.
All right. Our next. Whoops.
So it's onto the main list now, isn't it?
Yes. Yeah. We are onto the main list, the main release list, and we're going to be starting. It's been 2 weeks, so we do have quite a few games. Not as many as there should be, but there are quite a few games still. Starting with Monday, October 28th releases, we have Dreadborne Drifters, if I can spell it right. There we go. All right, Dreadborne Drifters.
Dreadborne Drifters is a game about shooting mutants and heretics in dystopian post-apocalyptic environments with soft sci-fi feel, looting treasure chests, and constantly upgrading your gear while rising in the ranks of Holy Inquisition.
Yep, this one, it's a wee bit busy. Very busy. It's very busy visually. That's one reason why I wasn't so super certain about this game, but it's also made by Pavel Herka of Pilsen, Czechia. It's just a single person, and at the very least, the aesthetic all seems to work together. So I'm like, you know what? Doesn't meet my personal tastes, but it looks pretty fun, fast-paced, quick. Yeah. But yeah,
yeah, this is just come out of early access, so it's and it's something at 95% positive with 22 reviews.
Yeah, it's giving me a little bit of like Broforce. At least I think I got that the name right on that one, the Broforce vibes. A little bit of like the busy action shooter game going on.
Yeah, and the screenshots seem less busy than the video, so I'm almost thinking that maybe the video is like zoomed in on the action, whereas you have a bigger screen where it's all happening. So yeah, it looks delightful.
Yeah, and it's only $6.99.
Yep, $8.99 US. All right, and with that, after that, we got Rats, Bats, and Bones.
Come on. The undead have awakened. You must build clever mazes of traps if you wish to defeat them in this challenging trap defense game. Travel across the land battling a host of creepy monsters, unlocking new traps and upgrades, and finally finding the source of the evil and stopping it once and for all.
I like that it looks like a Windows 95 MS-DOS game.
Yes.
They definitely captured the aesthetic perfectly.
That real retro feel.
Certainly.
But you're a tower defense guy, aren't you, Dewey?
I am, and this does seem to be a tower defense game. I'm just not sure if I'm ready to go back to 1995. But at the very least, it looks like it's really well done, and it's clearly a labor of love with all that,
And the levels are handcrafted too.
Oh, good, not randomized. That's nice. I always like that. Ooh, and the overworld looks really pretty. Oh my word.
Oh, there's 45 handcrafted levels. And with multiple difficulties as well.
That's not bad. Yeah, for tower defense, that is not bad at all. It is nice. And yeah, the menus, everything. It's so very retro.
But yeah, watching the video, it looks like it plays very smooth, unlike the good old 95 days. It could be a little chunky, little clunky. So yeah, if you're okay with the aesthetic, this looks really good.
Yeah, and
at least in the gameplay wise. Gameplay wise, sorry.
Gameplay, yeah. This is £11.39, and I'm just seeing how long people have put into it.
It's $14.99 US
with a free OST.
Ooh, that's nice. They could have sold that separately, but it's nice that they have that just as a free download. That wins some goodwill from me. or their music is crap. Like one of those two. It's like, oh, we know it's not bad. You're gonna want it for free.
Yeah, I was gonna say you could find out now.
Exactly, you could find out now. There's nothing to lose. So
it's to get you hooked while you're on the bus.
So I'm actually listening to the trailer right now. The soundtrack actually might be pretty. I might actually pick up this soundtrack. It's pretty good music.
All right, and
that's pretty cool. Yeah.
Our next title is Polyroll, from Tuesday, October 29th.
Explore branching levels, fight quirky bosses, and save the day in this retro platformer inspired by the classics.
I'm really glad Rhodey spotted this one, because I didn't, and it looks kind of like almost like a mashup of Sonic and Mario mechanics sort of thing going.
Yeah, definitely the Sonic level asset vibes to it. Little Mega Man-y at times too.
Mm.
The only thing I'm really not a big fan of is the main character itself. Like I know it's supposed to be a little bug, but I'm seeing so many times where they just kind of blend into the background.
Yeah.
Like yeah, clicking through of like, oh, here's a blue background, and of course kind of with the blue hair, or oh, hey, look, here's the Heart Palace where it's red and my character's red. There's just, I don't know, missing those points of like, oh, my character disappears into that is just bothersome a little bit, but everything else is looking more and more like a Sonic fan game.
Yeah. This is the supermarket's own brand of Sonic, basically. That slightly cheaper, but you know, it's probably quite fun. But it's $7.99.
Yeah, the color theory for this game does bother me quite a bit. There's the visuals. There's just a lot of spots where it's like, oh, they should use a different color there, or they should use a different combination of colors here. Just see that a lot. And yeah, the main character, it needs to have richer colors. Because yeah, there's so many scenes here he talked about that. Yeah, he has the exact same colors as stuff in the background. It's too bad. But it looks like it's a really fun game though. Besides the color nitpicks, it's $9.99 US, and you can get it with an OST.
I was about to throw that in just to be the first dude.
Yep.
Or you can buy the OST separately for $2.
Yeah. So
it's nice that they tell you how long it is with the 4 to 10 hours of gameplay. That's good.
Oh, that's nice. I always love it when they do that. 4 to 10 hours. That is good. So you know that's within the range of the price. That's yeah, I always like that when they do that.
Yeah, with 36 expansive levels.
Then how much is it over on your side of the pond there, Rhodey?
$7.99. I did. Don't worry.
Oh, my bad.
It's all right. It's all right.
All right, that is Polyroll. Next title for Tuesday, October 29th is Spooky Station, or should I say Titles?
Spooky Station. Prepare to be amazed and bewildered by our enigmas and puzzles, afraid of our deadly enemies and extremely challenging bosses. Tons of exciting stories and distinct fictional worlds await you in this mysterious pack.
So yeah, this is actually 9 games. 9 games that are all kind of packaged together into a single launcher.
Yeah, and some of them are like super cute.
And then all of a sudden, like here's a first-person shooter at the end. At least as I'm clicking through, there's the Sorry, just trying to see. So there are spooky cooking, Tower of 100 Floors, Wishing Sarah, Cosmic Rain, Thursday the 12th, the scariest day of them all. Worship the Demon Lord with friends. Cursebringer, Killing Moon, Spookids. Yeah, okay, and that's the last one.
Yep.
Yeah, each of them are all a little bit different. Of arena brawler, a roguelike, a text adventure to a shoot 'em up.
Yep, they've got them all, and that's really neat.
That's awesome.
There's a little something for everybody, which I quite like.
It's
And,
it's interesting to see indie devs work together to make a pack like this. That's kind of neat.
Yeah.
And it's a $4.99 price point too, so it feels like you're getting a decent bang for your buck here.
Yeah. It's $3.99.
Yeah.
here.
$4.99 US. And the studios are Collettivo Vaccarosa, V, Joymasher, PKO Game Studios, Spook Kids Team, Callan Games, Espresso Studios, Pastel Studios, Heavy Sheep, Last Stone, Asterix Game Studio, and published by Estudio Vaccaroja. So, wow, that's just really neat.
And it looks like the developers too really quick at responding to issues that are popping up, at least while I'm kind of going through the reviews of someone's like, well, we had a little bit of issue in the text adventure, and they were like, yep, we found it, we corrected it. If you're having a hard time with your version, if you've already played through, just click on here in the game and it should update it. It's like, oh, cool. I like
Nice.
responsive help.
Oh, okay. So one of the games, developed by Joymaster. Joymaster created Blazing Chrome, which is another game we talked about. Let me see. I'm just going through the list of the devs and seeing if they've done anything else. Most of them have not. So this appears. So for a lot of these devs, this is their debut is in this pack. It's kind of nice. So Espresso Studios created Super Platformer Gun and Rail Gunners. 2 more games on Steam.
I thought I heard of them.
Let's see. Anything else? Oh. And almost gone through them all. Oop. Asterix Game Studio developed Dreaming Sarah and Supernatural, and is also featured in another bundle, Supernatural Indie Bundle. And they made Dandy and Randy. We talked about Dandy and Randy. It's that puzzle game with the rabbit and the duck.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a pretty neat team to all kind of come together and make a game, make a series of games.
Nice.
That's cool. And that was Spooky Station. Probably, I don't think we've ever talked about a game pack like this before.
No, not at all.
But it's like cool. So it's like they all get them out like just before Halloween. So that's kind of cool. Next title. Wednesday, October 30th, we have Grimm's Hollow.
A spooky freeware RPG where you search the afterlife for your brother, reap ghost with your scythe, explore haunted caves, and eat ghostly treats on your journey through death.
This one is developed by, so I was looking for credits, but I could only find like the music. So the developer is Grimm's Hollow on Twitter. I was able to find one developer, Ghost Hunter. And then the music is done by Natbird from Sydney and Bruno Buglisi from Buenos Aires. So they got 2 musicians and a developer, I think. But yeah, so wasn't able to find too much about this game.
But it does have a lot of comfort food, apparently.
Oh yeah.
I was about to read the same thing too. A lot of cute ghosts, a lot of mean ghosts, 3 haunted caves to explore, and multiple endings.
Oh, so cute.
It's free.
Yeah, it's free.
So yeah, when Lavender woke up this morning, she wasn't expecting to be surrounded by a crowd of overexcited, skull-masked strangers with cake and balloons. After all, it wasn't her birthday, and this wasn't her home.
And sorry, I didn't have the video up. I'm getting used to swapping between this and this. So yeah, now y'all can see the video that it is, and that it is very, very cute.
Yeah, this looks super adorable.
All right, it's free. I might check it out. Especially if it's got good music.
It's got that similar playstyle to Undertale, you know, with you have to make sure that your thing hits the middle so you can do a strike.
And it doesn't take itself too seriously, so it's nice. Ghost Hunter. I have a confession. I still have not finished Undertale. Yep, I know.
I've never played it. Yeah.
Okay, I'm redeemed. I'm redeemed. Yay, I'm redeemed. Okay, cool. I can't get past the dummy. Y'all know what I mean. If you've played it, so I can't get past the dummy. Anyhow, so yeah, that's Grimm's Hollow. Our next title, if I can get it up. No. All right. There we go. The Wanderer, Frankenstein's Creature.
Write your own version of Mary Shelley's classic novel in a narrative adventure game with captivating beauty.
This looks like it's might be up Brody's aisle.
Yes. Yeah, I don't know, I really sort of like this style of it, this beautiful like watercolors just like spreading out over the canvas, and you just uncovering the story, and you hopefully there's enough interaction in it. I mean, it seems to be, you look at things and examine things and everything. So that's always I know I like that sort of exploration in a scene, or pixel hunting. I do like that. But yeah, these things always depend on how interactive they are, and whether what you're selecting, the text that you're selecting, if it like really matters or like doesn't. There's that one choice or the other choice sort of thing going on. So yeah, it really does depend. It looks beautiful though. Some really beautiful.
Yeah, this is clearly an art project, but but yeah, it's by La Belle Games of France. There are 3 devs. Well, at least the company was founded by 3 people. They were all the credits I could find. So Thibaut de Corday is he's the writer of Californium, which is also on Steam. Cedric Bosch, former head of business dev at Neko Entertainment, and Laurent Checolat, who was an indie journalist and is now working in games. So.
Wow.
But yeah, so yeah, just 3 folks getting together making this, and it's beautiful. It's very high-minded. I should say, yes.
Yeah, this is $12.99. I'm not sure how long it is.
Yeah, $15.99 US, and yeah, I've been having a hard time finding like how long it is down below.
It looks lovely though. My word, I think this is one we're gonna have to put in the list of obscenely beautiful games.
Yeah, no kidding.
For a curated page, we're gonna be developing lists as we get enough of the games we've talked about up there, and some of them like obscenely beautiful, and I think this will probably fall into that category.
Definitely.
Where it's so beautiful, it's like, why? Why is this so pretty?
Why?
All right, and now I've got to go track down our next title.
Someone may have to link me this one because I'm having a hard time finding
it. Yeah, I put it in the chat. Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, I just got to it.
Yep. Yeah. All right, so note to devs, never title your games one common word, like air. But anyhow, so that's this game, air.
This was buried like 4 or 5 pages back. Air is a game made to transport you to an enchanting world. Forget your world, yourself, be carried away by the atmosphere. In Brittany-inspired settings in France, you need to fly a small paper airplane for as long as possible. Brittany, there we go. Yeah. I knew I could say it, but my mouth was just not cooperating.
Yes, Brittany. Yes. Yep.
It's Brittany, bitch.
Brittany. Oh, Brittany, I get it.
There we go.
I get it. But yeah, and they actually have the Breton flags too. They look kind of like American flags, but they're black and white. And they have fleur-de-lis instead of stars. Yeah, it's pretty. It's really pretty.
I don't know if I like the cell shade on this.
Yeah, I don't know if it's translating to the video properly, because that can happen too. I'm kind of wondering if it looks muddy because it's in video format, or not.
Because I keep clicking over to like the still shots and all that, and it's still a little rough around the edges at times. Because watching the video itself, it looks like, all right, we've got a little bit of a compression issue going on, so that might be the problem.
Oh yeah, I see what you're talking about.
Yeah,
it's one of those, like, in theory, and like all the moving parts, everything going around looks great, but it's just, as I said, I don't know if the attempt at the cell shading is kind of causing the extra issue here.
There is something off.
Yeah, thank you.
It does remind me a bit of the game Flower, but I don't think it's executed as well.
No.
So that's because of the like you said, like the cell shading, and it makes certain aspects of it not show properly or something. So yeah, it's
maybe a mix of motion blur plus cell shading might be a little bit of the culprit.
Yeah.
But so between that already being a problem, the name being super hard to find, especially a new release game, and it's a 3-word title. They need to go back to the drawing board on a couple small aspects.
Yeah.
At least as far as naming goes, and maybe a little bit of the visuals to make it at least smoother for what the game is supposed to be.
Yeah. Otherwise, that could be, it could be like a really nice, relaxing experience, just flowing through all these like idyllic town and countryside and the coast and everything. So yeah, it's because I've been to Brittany, and it's just so beautiful. It's that's why I was excited when I saw this. I was like, oh, I have to see if they've sort of nailed the sort of atmosphere of it. But yeah, it's £4.79. It's really, if they can iron out a few things.
And the one review is saying they can't get the game to start.
Oh no.
Oh dear.
They do have some previous games, including Reliefs and Carton. So hopefully this isn't their first game, so hopefully they'll be able to get that they'll get that fixed. But yes. Ooh, air. All right. We have our next title is XOXO Blood Droplets.
Collection of very short stories. XOXO Blood Droplets is an absurd, dark comedy, twisted romance visual novel about terrible things happening to terrible people. So it's a story about me. Got it. The fun comes not from avoiding the potential horrors, but by seeing just how many ways things can go wrong. So it is a story about me.
Yep. Oh, and it's got full voice acting. Neat. Well, it's got at least some voice acting.
42 different endings in this as well.
Wow. That's
a lot of replays.
Yeah, no kidding. Three suitors, 3 separate storylines. Yeah, 42 different endings. Wow.
I'm not sure I would want a game where there are like that many different endings. Because it's like, especially if it's a visual novel, and you have to go back, and you have, if you want to get all the achievements or something, or you want to see all the endings, and it's like you have to methodically go back and select the choices that you're trying to trigger the ending that you want to see or something, or if you want to see all of them. I had that problem with Morph Girl, I was trying to trigger one of the endings, and it's like, I had to go back, and I had to select all the different answers I was giving again. So yeah, it's like it's annoying if there are so many endings. Yeah.
My word.
And it looks like there's planned, not to jump on you, I'm sorry.
so no, go ahead.
It looks like there's planned DLC also coming. So some of the characters on the list on the voice acting are only coming in an upcoming DLC as well.
Right.
Oh, okay. It is free though.
Romantic
Yeah.
partners. True.
It's free. I just love these. I just love these lists of choices. Pretend to be concerned about his health. Make him uncomfortable through seduction, or lie about being poisoned. Like, literally, you're just an ass, no matter what you choose to say. But I guess that's the point. You're supposed to be like these bad things happening to bad people, sort of thing. So, okay then. Alrighty. Our next tile is Brume. Not Brume as in sweep, but Brume as in a foggy place.
Oh, a challenging action adventure game. Explore a foggy, abandoned island, fight knights, slugs, and ghosts. Those are three very, very weird things to lump together. Make your way into an old, corrupted keep.
I'm not keen on slugs. But I am keen on the interesting pixel art / 3D art. Wasn't there another game? Is like The Long Walk or something about like that?
Yeah. It has that sort of 3DS kind of aesthetics. Sort of thing.
That sort of pixel art 3D is coming back. It's neat to see. Or I guess it's just low res 3D. To the point where
that'd probably be the good way to word that.
It's to the point where it looks like pixel art.
It's so what they're saying is 1 to 2 hours to complete at a $9.99 price point.
It's a little short.
Yeah.
Your face was what was in my head while I was reading that.
Oh, I think you're thinking of A Short Hike.
Oh yes, A Short Hike. That's what it was. Yes, Short Hike, which is lovely, folks. It's actually one of the highest rated games on Steam right now. As far as like reviews, it's one of the highest. It's really high up there. But yeah, Short Hike.
Yeah, but yeah, $9.99 for like 2 hours.
It's got a cool aesthetic. It's got a cool setting, and it looks like it has decent combat actually. But
one of the features they say is funny procedural leg animations.
Procedural leg animations?
Yeah,
what does that mean?
I don't think I'm having a stroke.
Maybe Monty Python, like funny walking kind of thing.
Maybe. Okay. All right, this game. Alrighty. Thursday, October 31st. Now we got Halloween. It is Halloween, so you can guess what the next games are going to be like. What? We have Song of Horror.
Song of Horror is a survival horror adventure. Face the manifestations of the presence. An unpredictable eldritch AI that reacts to your way of playing. You won't experience two exact gameplay.
So marked as Lovecraftian as well. So got to get all those tags. Adventure, horror, survival horror, Lovecraftian.
It's a lot of nope for me. Not because it looks bad. It actually looks like really
good.
Really beautiful. But I would rather not be chased by eldritch horrors. Thank you.
So apparently this is episode 1. I don't know how many they're planning on doing. Oh, episode 2. also came out for $7.99. Same day. So they put out 1 and 2 on the same day. And they are $8 each, or you can season pass it for $21.99.
And episode 3 is coming out in December for $7.99 US, or $7.99 for Euros. But yeah, December the 13th. That's the next.
And
episode.
so it's going to be a 5-episode series. Episode 4 in January, episode 5 in March.
Mm. Oh, yeah. So it looks like you've got lots of entertainment ahead, or you can just wait until March and get the whole package.
Yeah, the whole kink of boodle. You may die, but the horror continues. Death is permanent. When a character dies, it is gone.
I'm not sure I like that, because it's like, if you take the wrong turn or something, and then it's like, no, curtains. It's like, damn it, but I got so far.
Oh, then maybe it's kind of like Man of Medan, but less like cinematics based and more gameplay based. Maybe.
It's kind of it's sort of the vibe I'm getting off of this. It's going on my wish list because I like these kind of games.
I would need someone to buy me this game and pay me $1 for every time I scream for me to play this. That's what I would have to do. Like, no. But it looks beautiful. I will probably watch other people play this, like Tom or Greg or someone. I would watch. I would watch people play it.
Same. The story also has to be like quite interesting as well, because it's like, I want to know what's happening and everything. So yeah, I think depending, I would want to watch someone play it, but also depending on how long I was going to stick around to watch them, watch the horrors and being, getting all those jump scares and everything, is depending on how good the story was.
Mm-hmm. It's really pretty. It is really, really, really pretty. It's cool what indie teams can do nowadays. Oh, and Song of Horror is made by Protocol Games of Madrid, Spain. All right.
But yeah, $6.99 the first episode.
$7.99 US. Go on. Okay. Our next title is Cathedral.
Make your way through more than 600 rooms and unravel the secrets of your past by finding the 5 elemental shovels. Cathedral features a vast world meant for exploring and shoveling.
I like the music. You can't tell. I like this. I like the music. It definitely has a strong homage to Shovel Knight, but unlike Shovel Knight, this one is more of a Metroidvania than Shovel Knight was, which Shovel Knight had Metroid elements, but wasn't quite. It's still a platformer at heart. So yeah, this has a lot of similarities, but it's not quite the same.
It has good music, but no OST.
Oh yeah, my word.
That is a very missed opportunity right there.
Yeah.
Some money. I would get an OST of this. Yeah, I like that. I like this.
I love the sort of Master System kind of Sega Master System kind of graphics and everything. And the menu options. It's just so retro vibe. I love it.
And despite the initial feeling that it looked like very much like Shovel Knight, it definitely has an aesthetic of its own. The more I look at it, the less it looks like Shovel Knight. Just initially, my initial impression, especially since they do have that bouncing move where you stick your sword downwards and you bounce. I was just like, but the rest of the game definitely has a lot of unique features. So.
Yeah, I've played the daylights out of Shovel Knight, and even though you went back on it, I'm actually sitting on it really looks more like Shovel Knight than I first thought too.
Oh no! So you're starting to see it
Yeah,
more, yeah.
because I see like the checkpoints are still like the
Mhm.
orb sphere things like they have in the other the background detail. I'm like this. There's a few sections where I'm like, oh yeah, this looks right, so, like almost exactly like this one level,
Mhm.
or this looks
Yeah.
exactly like the background of this. So
I did some research and I couldn't find any place where like it was the same art. Like this is unique art, but it's still the appearance is so close, and I'm like, but they made a different game functionally. So
yeah,
this is by
very true.
Decemberborn Games. They are a team made up of Swedes and Dutch folks. They so Eric Lavison is the lead dev. Matthias Anderson is another dev. Aaron Kramer is the composer. And on their website, they've got like these great portraits of each of them. And Aaron Kramer, the composer, looks like Hot Topic, the guy. So and I'm like, composer. Yeah, you look like a composer. Ake Salem is their CEO and marketing guy, and Justin Alexander is their pixel artist, and has like these, and on his photos just like bedroom eyes, and it's like I feel uncomfortable. It's just very funny. But yeah, Justin Alexander's the pixel artist.
This is 600 rooms to explore.
It's
So
huge.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a huge game.
It's huge. There's a lot of secrets. So yeah, it's quite different from Shovel Knight, but it's aesthetically it's a little bit closer than I'd be comfortable with normally.
Yeah, and it's $11.99.
Yep, $11.99. Alrighty, so oh yeah, and it's $14.99 US.
Oh yep, sorry.
All the way lens. All right. I hope this is the right Bewitched.
It should be the fourth one down.
The
Right.
visual novel one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
okay. I got the right one.
All right, cool. Bewitched.
Is a visual novel full of adventures and quests in the world of magic, where you have an incredible chance to become an apprentice of one of the most peculiar and charismatic witches.
Huh?
I wonder if it has anything to do with the TV series.
Bewitched?
Yeah.
No, I highly doubt that. I like that there's a cat and he's a character and his name is Grimoire. That's cute. I like that. So it's a visual novel.
It looks like quite different from a lot of the visual novels out there, like just aesthetically. And I really like the designs of the characters, and because a lot of visual novel that's been shoveled up there, they kind of like the characters look like too simplistically drawn or something, whereas this is like,
yeah, even the main character looks like a character.
Yeah.
I am, and going back to what I said before a little bit, I am surprised we don't have an IP issue on this, just because of the Bewitched series. And
I don't know. It's been so long since they've done anything.
You had the Will Smith movie, the Will Ferrell movie, not that far back, and which is probably their way of keeping the IP.
But have there been any games?
Yeah, that I don't know, and I know this isn't directly tied to that at all. I'm just surprised there's not a potential, maybe a legal snafu here.
Maybe. But that would require the owners of Bewitched to actually
to be aware of this.
Be aware, because if a certain amount of time goes by and they don't do anything about it,
then it's no issue.
Guess what? Bewitched is now open to everyone to use.
Yeah.
So, as a title.
And I know that was a sidetrack now, so my apologies.
Yeah. No, it's an interesting topic.
But yeah, this is it's 6 to 8 hours, and it's only $3.99.
That's not bad.
Yeah, $4.99 US.
But yeah, this is the protagonist, a boy named Thomas, has a difficult life. He gets even worse when his father marries a woman who simply can't stand her stepson. His whole life changes with a sudden trip to his aunt, whom he visits visited once many years ago. Now he is definitely distracted from all sad thoughts because his Aunt Alice is a real witch who has a talking cat and a bunch of magical things, and her house is not exactly the right place for little boys. But despite all the dangers, Thomas accepts the challenge and firmly decides to reach the heights of potion making and reveal all the secrets hidden behind the magical barrier.
I kind of like this. I don't know.
Yeah.
I might have to check this out.
Yeah.
It seems like a visual novel that might have kind of a sort of heartwarming story. It's not about like seduce all the witches, but instead it's like, oh, this looks like a really cute kind of heartwarming story.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see what what mechanics they've got in the actual game rather than just making certain choices or whatever. So yeah, so it says there are quest mechanics, so I'm curious.
Yeah.
Yeah, the art style's excellent.
I love the art in this.
Alrighty, so that is interesting how Halloween, like we had 3 games, and only Song of Horror was really like Halloweeny. I guess Bewitched is kind of Halloweeny. Cathedral is abstractly Halloweeny, but it's just kind of all like, nothing too super scary, except Song of Horror. All right, Friday, November 1st, we have Swordrite.
Swordrite is a roguelike, kill-them-all game inspired by the Metroidvania genre. You'll face multiple enemies, solve puzzles, and figure out how to defeat enemy bosses.
Metroidvania fans are not short for choices this week. God, this week popped in. It's not about seduce all the witches. Then what's the point?
Can you call yourself a visual novel if you're not trying to seduce things or body parts don't magically enlarge?
Okay. That's in the DLC.
That's
in the DLC.
My cleanest way of wording
it.
My headphones. I was trying to be nice to Dewey for once.
There we go. Okay. This game is made by a solo dev from Horsens, Denmark, Vlad Zaharia. It looks kind of nice. I don't think it's a very big game, but it is also only $3.99 US, so
yeah, it's like it says 3 boss fights with interesting mechanics, so yeah, it's probably quite short.
Leveling system with point attributes. Your combat diversity, and it is sword or bow for weapons. Ew. Sliding, climbing, ledge hanging. Not for a $4 game US. That's not bad. I'm curious for exactly how long it is. I've got nothing on the reviews to be able to help out with that, but it artistically it doesn't look bad, especially for a roguelike. But the good old Metrovania style of anything. It's not muddy. The character sticks out. The background foreground stick out well enough that it's like, oh, I know exactly where I'm landing, or any of that. Which any of these types of games always drive me nuts. Of like, oh, hey, I'll just jump over to that. Oh, that's the background.
It's got good style. It's got good style to it.
It really does. And
I do like the pixel art.
Yeah, and watching the video and all that, like the combat looks fairly smooth. The platforming looks smooth, but of course, without actually handling it, that's a hard one to judge right off the bat. The only thing I've so far not liked is at least in watching it, is the ledge hang pull up animation, or kind of lack thereof.
Oh yeah,
it just kind of like a sudden slide up. But if that's my biggest critique so far, that's not bad.
Yeah, even in that case, it's like, okay, for the sprite work that they did, it could be a lot worse.
Yeah.
What did? The animation is really fluid. It almost feels like it's not a pixel art game. It's with how fluid that animation is in spots. But yeah, it's all sprites. It's well done.
Yeah, it's really nice, and it's $2.89.
Yep. Anything
So
under
cheap.
£5, I'm like, oh, whatever. How long? I don't really care that much how long it is.
Yeah.
So, all right. Our next title is another one for our Racoon list, but Rift Racoon.
Oh my goodness. In Rift Racoon, you play as a cute raccoon teleporting his way through platforming challenges. Jump, climb, slide, and teleport across beautiful pixel art environments filled with dangerous traps.
It's like Rocket Raccoon and Tracer had a baby.
There's
Don't think
that you
about it
could
too much.
jump on.
Yeah.
Such an odd it has odd mechanics. I quite like it, although I imagine, you know, I'm definitely not a platformer person, and I just teleport into spikes immediately.
I feel like that's how most playthroughs of levels would end. It's just like, oh, nope, just slam right into spikes. Teleporting raccoon. That sounds like a really bad idea. Like, oh, take a raccoon, give it the ability to teleport.
I would have no food left in my house.
No, none of us would have any food left in any of our houses.
That's true.
Because I'm sure raccoons would find a way to teleport across the Atlantic and just go right into Rhodey's pantry.
The only thing I'm not a big fan of is the background being absolutely, well, like 100% stationary. It's one of those, like, I'm just watching it, which is weird to say motion sickness on a good 2D game, but I'm getting a bit motion sick watching.
Yeah. Now because it's not slightly moving in the background. Oh yeah, it does kind of bother me.
I just reading what they what they're writing down, the main features. Really tough challenges, 50 unique handcrafted levels that will test the skills of even the bravest raccoons. Tight and juicy, controls are fine-tuned so that it's fun to climb and teleport around the game's environments. Eye candy, visuals are inspired by retro games and animated movies. Expect some colourful, cute and nostalgic sights. Original soundtrack, of course. Just to be sure, you did read that. You play as a teleporting raccoon, right? What more is there to say?
I would like to say all these main features could be described as roadie. Really tough challenges with an original soundtrack.
Tight and juicy?
I know.
Okay, so little context. The developer is Marcos... I'm gonna print. Okay, forgive me. This is a German name. Marcos Fuchter, I think. Fuchter. I don't know. But he's from Criciúma, Brazil, a solo dev. So maybe the translation might be a little off. I'm just like,
juicy.
Or maybe not. Maybe
not. Maybe it is intentional. I'm just like, that's not how it would describe.
I am about to describe more things in my life as tight and juicy.
No, please don't.
No.
Oh, this is happening.
All right. Hope or How We Survived is our next game. Sorry.
Welcome into the chat, Jimbo. Thanks for joining us. And just as we were talking about tight and juicy things, Jimbo comes in.
Jimbo shows up,
of course. Yeah. There's context, I swear.
Nope. Hope or How We Survived. A tower guard protects the town's survivors, but how does he pass the time when not shooting zombies? Hope or How We Survived is a short narrative focused game with pick up and play shooting and dialogue mechanics.
This seems to be a bit of an experimental game almost. It's developed by a team called Sepia Cowboys from the United Kingdom. Duo devs Dave and Paul. And originally this was supposed to be a comic book.
That's interesting. So it's a creative idea that just carried on to evolve into something else. Interesting.
I would describe this game as tight and juicy.
In one of the screenshots, there are a couple of chickens crossing the road. So just thought I'd let you know that.
Oh, look,
And-
there is. And there's zombie chickens, that looks
Yeah.
like.
I
Okay.
don't know how I feel about this. A part of me was like, okay, this kind of sounds interesting, but at the same time, it looks like you only ever stay on top of your tower and you
Yeah.
shoot stuff. Like it's
Mhm.
meh.
It's like a shooting gallery game, but with a narrative. Yeah.
See, I would be all for the narrative, but I just couldn't be bothered with the
Mhm.
killing mechanics. I don't know.
No.
And I can't imagine it's a terribly long game either.
No, and
Mm.
they do say themselves it's a short,
Mm.
a very short narrative focused game. So, but it does have multiple endings.
But it's $5.99 US, so
Mm. It is £4.79 UK.
okay. I'm curious. Maybe they'll make a webcomic eventually with a bigger story. Because I do like the character design of the guy on top, like the gas mask and the cowboy hat and the red trench coat. Very cool looking, very comic book.
Yeah.
All right. So, now we skip 6 days in the future, because our next title is Ritual Crown of Horns.
Ritual Crown of Thorhorns is a
Horns.
slaughterhouse, a violent, fast-paced, weird western with an attitude. A unique blend of classic horde modes, base defense games, and arcade top-down run and guns. Also available on the Switch as well.
This is a game from Polish devs, and mechanically, the thing that makes this sort of stand out is it's auto-targeting. So the game is built around you being able to auto-target, which means that there are other mechanics that, like, oh wait, is that just easy mode? No, there's other mechanics that make it more difficult, that involve timing, but I'm not sure how.
Yeah.
So...
Because on the little trailer, it's like, don't just spam the trigger. But
I think it's possible that there's a lot of ammo management.
yeah.
And so since you know that every shot will count, it's like, wait, so... Oh, that's how it is. Because you have a shotgun and you have a pistol. A pistol can only kill one thing, but a shotgun could kill multiple. We've got to wait until they group together. Because you only have so many bullets. I'm looking at the UI and figuring this out. I get it. That's how this is happening.
This looks fun.
But also, that's another good point, is that you work this out from looking at the trailer. And if there are any devs asking to watch this, that's how your trailer should be. We should be able to look at it and
Figure it out.
completely understand what you're trying to portray here, and the mechanics as well, because that's what we want to know. How it plays, what it's about, what story you're telling as well, if you are telling a story.
Yeah.
The soundtrack on it actually sounds really nice too.
Yeah, I'm impressed. I am impressed. Like, just that is a really good trailer, and now I know whether I would want to pick it up or not. It's probably not my type of game, but it's a really cool way for them to do it, and I can see probably a lot of people having fun with this. So
yeah.
So yeah.
20% off right now, and it's $13.99. There are 16 reviews up, and it's at 75% positive.
That's
Cool.
good.
You can also get it with the soundtrack, of course, and it's $15.99 US. So, Ritual Crown of Horns, that is cool. All right, our next title, which I have a bit of story time about, because I had to dig through the internet a little bit to learn about this one. Nope, that is the wrong one. Let me see. There we go.
Yeah, the Lexi one popped up first.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, why are you showing me this instead of the thing that I'm actually looking for? Anyhow.
You want me to do description, or you want your story time first?
No, you do the description first, but it is the TakeOver.
The TakeOver is a side-scrolling beat-em-up inspired by 90s classics such as Streets of Rage and Final Fight. Battle solo or alongside a friend in local co-op while listening to awesome tunes from Little V Mills, Richie Branson, James Ronald, and industry legend Yuzo Koshiro.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, this developer Pelican 13 did a Kickstarter for the 90s arcade racers, which this Kickstarter happened back in 2013. It's 2019 now, and the 90s arcade racers has never come out yet. It is supposed to eventually come to Switch. So that's the goal. Yep. So there's this. Now it gets more interesting. So 90s Arcade Racer, he's developing with another company. Now, Pelican himself, he's a 3D artist. So it could be that there's other features, like they also announced that they're going to be working on online gameplay for it. But so I'm wondering if so is it just a case that Pelican can't get to work on that because all the art's done? And then he goes and makes the TakeOver? I don't know. I do not know. So it's an interesting, weird thing.
It is kind of the downside of reading some of the reviews. Everyone is now immediately skewed thanks to the arcade racer.
Oh, really?
But it's also I'm running into it quite a bit on the reviews. But it's understandable as well.
I mean, there could be because the previous game, he's working with another company. So for all I know, the holdup could be on the other companies. I don't know. There's a lot of I don't know, but I thought it was some interesting things to know about this. Now that said, a Kickstarter project that takes more than 6 years to get out, it's not unheard of. It can take a lot of time. There's also games that weren't kickstarted that took 10 years to come out. So I don't know. I don't know what's keeping 90s Arcade Racer. I do know that it was really hyped for a long time. And the company has made a statement that yes, they're working on online multiplayer systems for it and that stuff. But yeah.
I think if they, Kickstarter during Kickstarters, they're communicating regularly and they're saying, yeah, we're working on this, we're working on this, and we're working on this. But at the same time, they're also working on something else, so they're not being transparent about it. And this game that people have put money into is taking a back burner. I think that's a bit bad.
Yeah. At least going to this game itself and not trying to look at that issue going on. The soundtrack is really good for what I've got in my ears right now. It looks like a good side-scrolling beat 'em up.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, it looks fantastic. It seems like it's it seems like it's a faithful, almost recreation of Streets of Rage, actually.
Yeah.
Just a faithful recreation to that. It's beautiful artwork. It's 3D, but it's 3D, but it feels almost 2D. It's very beautiful. But yeah, so this by itself looks really cool. Being charitable, perhaps Pelican is he did all the art. He's an artist. He had to work on something else. So
yeah,
and we don't know. But the fact is, he was the one that did the arcade racer. Who actually did the Kickstarter for it. But anyhow, yeah, that's that.
This is 30% off right now, and it's £11.19.
Yep, and it is $13.99 US at 30% off. Alrighty. Our next title is called Downward from Sunday, November 10th. And I also have story time for this. It is the last one.
It is, yeah, the last title.
Venture into the haunted wilds with Gable, a little owl, as she sets out to rekindle the dormant relics of a land long abandoned to ruin.
Mm-hmm. So this is a free game, and there's a few interesting things about this. It was a failed Kickstarter a few years back. It did not hit its funding goal. It only got $6,000 of the $20,000 they're asking for, but the development seemed to have continued. And I'm not sure if the stretch goals that were posited will ever get made. It is free because it's still in development. Like, this game is still being changed and updated, but this is... They got to a point where they felt they just wanted to release it.
Yeah, that's why I'm surprised not to see like an early access tag on it. But I wonder if it's because it is a freebie.
Maybe that might be because that's the thing which bothers me about early access is like, oh, it's supposed to be almost like, you know, you're testing the game, but now it doesn't imply that anymore. Almost so him going like, oh, this is just free. It's free but released, but you know, you can update it. You may update it. So
this story just reminds me of Owlboy.
Oh, really?
Yes, it's like, you know, you're venturing into haunted wilds, and with Gable, a little owl, as she sets out to rekindle dormant relics, things like that. You know, it's like this sort of, you know, you go in abandoned ruins, and it's sort of like similar.
Yeah, very.
Like similar. Yeah.
Also, it is a 4-color palette, so it's always 4 colors, but you can change it. So he's got a couple dozen different themes you can choose. So if you don't like the green, white, and black, you can change it to a variety of different colors schemes, which is actually really cool. Let me see, where is it? I want to show
Reminded me of taking old Game Boy games and putting it into your Game Boy Color.
Yep.
It's exactly what it's doing, and I love it.
It does look really beautiful. It looks really great.
So yeah, I'm glad that it did come out, because it could have just never come out, and that would have been a shame. Even though there may be content and ideas behind this game that will never get added to it, it's cool that it's in a state where it's like, hey, I can release it. Yeah.
I hope some, you know, people who like platformers, I hope they pick this up, because it does look like, you know, a real labor of love. It looks so pretty.
And yeah, and Fisherlith, yeah, it's a solo dev as well, so, you know, by themselves. Yeah. I do like the touch of, like, you get attacked by these ghosts that are like the skulls of crows. That's pretty. It's pretty metal. Anyhow, and with that is the release list.
Yay! You did it. We did it.
Yeah,
we
just go to the best of the list and the plugs. Yeah,
Tommy's favorite part of the show.
Yeah, the best of the list.
Rhodey's dishonorables.
Nope, that's not a thing. They got canceled.
You gotta stay for my best of the worst.
And there was a lot of the worst this week.
There really was. I have like a few, but I'm gonna, you know, I've cut them down to just the best of the worst gems here. So the first one is History Warriors.
Oh no. Okay. All right. History Warriors.
Sorry. 8 historic figures together for the first time, combined in an exciting 2D fighter.
I love when Shakespeare sort of jumps into the portal, and because it's just you skipped it, but it just looks like what?
Oh yeah.
He sort of just like floats there, and then just gets sucked into the portal.
On Joan of Arc versus Abraham Lincoln. Che Guevara versus Abraham Lincoln. Oh my gosh.
You can set up tournaments. This is $15?
That was another thing as well, the price point. I was thinking, Why?
Oh, this game can just itself. No.
So yeah,
No.
11:39 UK. It's yeah.
And the villain is Hitler.
Oh, yeah. Oh my gosh. I can't. I can't. There were some pretty smart inclusions, but oh my word. Okay, it's so. Oh my word.
I knew you'd like that.
Weird. Okay. Yep. It looks so bad.
Okay.
And they talk to each other.
Mm.
Abraham Lincoln tells Joan of Arc, "I'll send you back to the bonfire."
Oh my word.
Wow.
That's amazing. Oh.
Yeah, that's great.
Wow. Just wow. That's all. Okay. All right.
Okay.
Our
This is
next
the
one.
next one. I think the theme this week is like why are you paying that much for this game? So the next one is Ducks in Space.
All right, the name alone makes me feel a little better.
Right.
Ducks in Space is a 2D platformer where you play as Captain Quackers, a duck attempting to thwart the plans of the most evil creatures in the universe, geese.
Geese.
Oh.
If you ever had geese and ducks together in a farm, you'll see they don't get along.
They really don't. Oh no. Ooh. They want $10 for this.
Yeah, £7.19.
But
So yeah,
there's a free demo.
There is a free demo.
just in
Funnily
case you
enough.
weren't sure what this game was all about, you can, free demo.
And there's dialogue between Captain Quackers and the geese. I do like their Happy Cow logo. That's adorable.
It is a cute logo.
Yeah.
Now I just want them to make a good game.
Yeah. And charge the appropriate amount for it.
Someday, Happy Cow Games will be like, this is their humble beginnings. They're going to be the next Blizzard. Like, the next Blizzard will be Happy Cow Games. Someday. Oof.
Are you ready? Are you ready for the next one?
Hit me.
At least this was a bit more of a palate cleanser.
Yeah, it was a palate cleanser.
Yeah. Okay, so this is the Book of Yule.
I might have noticed
Save
this
the
one.
church, or save the kingdom, or save the countries, or save the farmlands, or save the village.
We're looking at Save the Church.
Okay, the Book of Yule is an action-packed adventure game. You must explore, solve puzzles, avoid traps, and more to restore the Church of the Holy Yule and free the kingdom. Find items to help you on your journey, free prisoners, smash walls and doors, and kill the evil ones as you travel the kingdom.
I mean, the visuals, just so bad. So bad.
Ooh, this makes old school RuneScape look like a masterpiece.
It really does. Coming soon, VR support.
And it's £15.49 as well.
But they're working on VR support.
Because you want these assets closer to your face.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
One thing I like, players without the DLC can join host with the DLC and play those DLCs via the host. I like that.
Oh,
that's actually a good touch.
What sort of world is it when the best, the worst has some pro-consumer policy?
Yeah.
My word, that's interesting. Like really pro-consumer policy right there. Oh, it looks so bad. I'm at a loss for words.
And
Old school
it's got
RuneScape is a
controller
masterpiece.
support.
It is. I'm sorry. Got the sweep. I mean, visually speaking, though.
Mm.
Old school RuneScape wasn't pretty, but old school RuneScape is a masterpiece. Anyhow. Oof.
I have one more. One more.
A final one.
For-
Okay, we can make
Yeah,
it.
for our why are you charging that much
Okay.
section this week? This is Ghost Parade.
Oh, $40. Okay.
Really?
There's something spooky in the woods and it needs your help. Team up with 30 ghostly companions, each one lending a unique ability. Explore the spine-tingling scrolling action adventure and work together to get everyone safely home.
No, IKEA was correct. So sincerely, Day.
I mean, you know, if it was like a $5 or something, or maybe a bit less, it's like, yeah, okay, yeah, I would maybe purchasing it, but it's like
It's got like
it's
the
£30.99.
It's got like Rayman graphics.
Mm.
Sort of.
Sort of. Not as well done.
No,
Yeah.
not nearly as polished, but it has the aesthetic at times. But
No.
I mean, if it was cheaper,
I think the money went on the cutscenes,
Mhm.
but not the actual game, not the actual art of the game. It seems
Mhm.
like some of the platforms just look terrible.
Yeah. I actually looked at this one when I was making the list, and I didn't notice the price. But I was just like, hemming and hawing, should I include this in the list or not? I ended up not, because it was missing that polish. But had I looked down and seen that they were trying to sell it for $40,
yeah.
I would have probably immediately cut it from the list. Yeah, I don't hate it. It looks like it might be enjoyable, but I don't think anyone would buy it for $40. Well, some people did. It got some positive reviews.
If it don't be tempted by the cute character, the gameplay is very difficult but still enjoyable. Good job, game company. I almost throw my keyboard because it's very difficult. The game is worth to buy. I don't need to explain, right?
I saw in the discussions it says, it's like, that price, why that price?
Yeah. Why that price? And with that, that's our that's our unmentionables taken care of. Dishonorables, not unmentionables.
I'm glad to know more about Rhodey's unmentionable. I'm glad to know this. Good job, Dewey. You're the one who said it.
Anyway, now we come to the best part of the show, literally, where we talk about the best of the list. So, TommyByrd, you're the guest. What was your favorite of the list?
The very tight and juicy game. Song of Horror is gotta be my best of the list this week. I seeing a little bit of the issues of how they were bundling the episodes and all that, which kind of just seemed like an issue between how they were putting on Steam and stuff. I can let that part go because it's like I like my Cthulhu stuff. I like my horror games. It looked good. And then it's one of those, the episode system I'm not always a big fan of, but at least they have a roadmap of, we have this out on this day, we have this out on this day, we have this out on this date. I already feel better on that one alone. Otherwise, my second close one right behind that was Ritual Crown of Horns. Was my other follow-up for this week. The weird the whole aiming ammo management system, the soundtrack that actually sounded really good on top of it. Those are definitely sitting atop of my tight and juicy games of the week.
Okay. Rhodey, what about you? What is your best of the list?
I really there's a few. I think I do like the 13th Doll, the fan game of 7th Guest.
Yeah.
But I probably will be put off getting it straight away because, well, one, I'm working through my Steam list, as we all know, but also that price. I'm not with the competition of other games, you would think they would have lowered the price.
Mm-hmm.
With the other point and click games, you've got to look at what your product is, what you're trying to sell, and how that in competition with other games of the similar genre. And just charging $23.79, that's too much. That's too much. Also, I am interested in Spooky Station. I want to, because there seems like a game in that bundle that I would, might enjoy. So I'm quite interested. Maybe
And the price was surprisingly fair with 9 games in there.
$5 for 9 games, yeah.
Absolutely. So yeah, I feel like I'd pick that up and maybe play that on Steam to see like this, because there might be something for everybody they'd enjoy. And the 2 other games, because I put quite a few on my wish list this week. The Wanderer, the Frankenstein creature. Just the artwork alone, it's just like it makes me want to explore the game and just look at everything, and it just that it's got that really nice pixel hunting kind of like mechanics that I really like, just examining everything. And I like the idea that you're making the story, Frankenstein story. So yeah, and of course I really want to try Bewitched.
Oh yeah. Bewitched, yep. Now going to my best of the list. Bewitched, I put that on my wish list. And I think that's the only game out of this week that I put on my wish list. Interestingly enough, that's an odd thing to happen where it's like, oh, the visual novel is the game that Dewey puts on his list this week.
Yeah. Yes, it's not normally your kind of genre.
No, not normally my kind, but I think just I'm looking through the games again. I'm like, no, I feel like this is the one that I would pick up.
not even the one that surprised me you didn't pick was Rats, Bats, and Bones, but it might be because of the 95.
Yeah, it's just
to it.
Just a little too old. I mean, I get that people really do like those visuals, but I'm like, I'm not nostalgic about that past in that way.
Yeah.
I'm like, why couldn't you just update it? Just bring the mechanics and update it. That's my thing. There's a certain point in time where I'm like, well, it just looks bad.
Yeah.
The some retro, like I would say as far back as I would go, would be Super Mario. Like Super Mario, that retro look, I find that appealing.
Yeah.
But
it's got very clean lines, sort of thing.
Behind that, I'm like, just update it to like proper 8-bit or 16-bit or something.
Fair. It was still one that I was a little curious if it was going to hit like a potential wish list or not. So
that, and in the honorable mentions, I was really interested in Steam Dolls, Order of Chaos. I'm curious about that, but I don't like stealth games. That's the thing. From my experience, I've never played a stealth game I really liked. So I'm like, even though it looks really cool.
And then Inspector Waffles looks hilarious.
Oh, Inspector Waffles is funny too.
Yeah, everybody, if you were interested in that, play the demo. And I think they said they were halfway through development, and it's coming out sometime next year.
Yep.
So put that on, play the demo, put it on your wish list. Definitely play it when it comes out.
And with that said, TommyByrd, let us know what's going on the internet for you.
Well, I'm still trapped in this box that they haven't let me out of since the last time on the show. Obviously, the name change to be it used to be the Radio Tom. We're now over to TommyByrd, so you can find me twitch.tv/TommyByrd, over on Twitter at the TommyByrd over there. On Discord, you can find me over in the arcade or Clever Nation. Is everywhere you can find me. As I'm stuck in this heart-shaped box. Oh, wing.
All right. And how about you, Rody?
So you can find me at twitch.tv/RodyPie, and don't forget to check out the Steam Release podcast curation page. We're on there, and I'm trying to update as much as possible the reviews that we've done. So yeah, keep an eye out. Keep an eye out for if there's any episodes that you missed and you want to see them on your pop up on your Steam page, then yeah, subscribe to our curation page, and don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel as well. But you can also find me instead on Twitch, and I have been doing I did a tarot reading.
Oh, really? Interesting.
Yeah, for Halloween, and I have gotten a few follows, people that are interested just in like the tarots. I did say at the beginning, I said this is for entertainment purposes. And Buffoon Batman, although he wasn't there, he did get a reading. Ooh. And was a bit disgruntled afterwards.
Do not make decisions based on this reading. Please do not make decisions.
I mean, I think it was pretty accurate. That's all I can say. And I have clipped it. So if you want a good chuckle at his expense, not mine, do check it out. But, here's a link for the curator page. So come and give us a follow.
Yeah, and we'll keep it updated. And we're also doing the backlog, which is a big deal.
Yes.
Anyhow, I do have a wee bit of news on my end. I've created a Twitter handle for the podcast. It is the Steam Release Podcast at Twitter. If you just search Steam Release Podcast, it comes up. I think it's just at Steam Podcast. But yeah, so that is on Twitter at the moment, and I'm gonna that's going to be kind of the new thing where I'm going to be posting new episodes, but I will retweet it with, of course, my normal Twitter as well. So that's up. I will get Rhodey sign-in information for that too, so she can help me manage that. So yeah, we've got that branded, and we will, I don't know about next week, but hopefully, I'm really hoping by next year we're going to be starting fresh with some new duds for this stream. So it's going to look different. Some things are going to get moved around. I'm really looking forward to having an actual graphic artist make an overlay, instead of just, this is my labor mostly. So I'm not a graphic artist, but I hope you guys, I hope to do that soon. So yeah, and with that, of course, follow me, Dewey Bear, on Twitch and on Twitter and on YouTube. And of course, well, on YouTube, it's now the Steam Release Podcast, the YouTube channel. So yeah, I've been branding properly. Yes.
Branding.
We're gonna have t-shirts soon, maybe.
Maybe. I mean, maybe. It's actually not that hard to get that set up. Anyhow. That said, thank you so much, everyone, for being here for another lovely week, episode 45. We will be back next week, but then we will probably have a 2-week hiatus for Thanksgiving, etc. So yeah, the holidays is going to be some gaps, but farewell. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. YouTube. Bye. Don't forget to like and subscribe.
Yep.
All that stuff.